So I've not seen many videos on how to do brakes on X6 E71. Just this one here. So I've already finished, but I can still make a little video. So of course you remove the wheel. Now I'm fitting spacers, so I remove the wheel, and then you remove, this is where the wheel gets bolted to, and then you remove the shallow head bolts that hold the spacer in place. Because I'm running Range Rover's wheels, so these are adapters, and you get that one off. Then you pop this little cover there, this one, and you will find a 7mm Allen key. That holds the caliper onto the carrier. So you remove those two with a big flat screwdriver. You remove the anti-rattle clip, which is this clip here. So you just put your screwdriver here and leverage that way, you see. Remove that one. Remove the two Allen keys there, and then with a coat hanger you take the caliper out of the way. On the other side, on the driver's side, you will have the brake pad sensor, which is there as well. So you just carefully just pull it this way, and you can leave it hanging. Then you get the caliper and you hang it with a coat hanger I use, just so the stress does not go on the pipe, on the brake line there. And that's your caliper out of the way. Then with an E-socket, or if you don't have an E-socket, you can use a 14mm normal socket. You go onto this bolt. There's only two of them, one there and one underneath, right there, right there. You take them off, and then you remove your caliper, your carrier. If the spacer is out of the way, you will see that single bolt that holds the brake disc in place. So you go inside, you release your handbrake first, so the shoe retract, and then you can pull the disc away. And to fit it is the other way around, the same process in reverse. So you put your disc on, you put the one single bolt that holds the disc in place. Then you put your carrier, then you tighten the two bolts that I've told you at the back for the carrier, and you want to torque them. I'm torquing them at 130. So the carrier is held in place. Then you can put your new pads in. Good practice to put a little bit of grease on the back of the pads and a little bit of grease on those channels, because the caliper will slide in and out. So if you protect it with a little bit of grease, it will prevent oxidation, and also will prevent the pad to get stuck. That will also prevent a little bit of binding on the disc. And then you can place your caliper back, do your two Allen keys there. They don't need to be tight, extremely tight. Of course they do need to be tight, they're just not mad tight, because they don't actually do nothing, they just sliders. So all they do, they hold the caliper in place that way, but they don't actually hold it firmly onto the carrier, because the caliper does slide. When you brake, the caliper will do that. So the two pads will bite onto the brake disc, and that's how you brake. You tighten those two just with a normal ratchet, not crazy tight. You put the caps back on, and then I was doing my spacers, bolt-on spacers. They also get torqued just like the wheels, because of course you fit in your spacer onto the hub, and then you fit in your wheel onto the spacer. So the spacer needs to be secured onto the hub, and to secure it properly you want to make sure you torque them. I personally go 130, but 120 is enough on this type of cars. X5 and X6, they just shy, I think it's 2700 to 2800 kilos, so 120 newton meters, 130 newton meters is more than safe. You don't want to over tighten them because you're risking of stripping the thread into the hub, and if you over tighten them onto the spacers, this is only an insert, so we're taking no really that much to get stripped. So you don't want to over tighten them, that's why we torque them. Like I say, 120, 130. Once I've torqued them, the shallow head bolts, they're called shallow head because they have a shorter head. I'll show you. If you get them off, they need to have a shallow head, so they sit inside the spacer, because of course if they